Paleoclimatology Modeling, written and presented by Nick Hernandez. In this presentation, I will describe paleoclimatology modeling and detail how scientists simulate the climate of the past to discern the climate of today and anticipate the climate of tomorrow. Paleoclimatology modeling is often referred to as the Paleoclimate Modeling Intercomparison Project, or as PMIP. PMIP is an international project that was launched in 1994 with the goal of examining climates of the past, what caused said climates, and seeing if those climates can be replicated. There have been many versions of PMIP, each iteration focusing on a different time period and atmospheric conditions. The PMIP-1 model focuses on the atmosphere between the mid-Holocene, 6,000 years ago, and the last glacial maximum, 21,000 years ago. Since these models cover thousands of years of complex climatological data, supercomputers are needed to run these simulations, with over 80,000 calculations being done every hour. Figure 2 on the right is an image of Paleoclimate, a simplified paleoclimate software that you can download straight onto your desktop. Paleoclimate uses paleogeographic data, specifically land, sea distribution, and elevation, to predict surface pressure, which then drives calculations of climate outputs like temperature, wind, ocean currents, upwelling, and wetness. This is just an example of a program that uses paleoclimatological data to display climate of the past and not to replace said supercomputers used for the PMIP models. Think of it as comparing the water hose you would use to water your lawn and a fire hose used by firefighters. Same basic concept, just one is vastly more powerful than the other. Along with PMIP-1, PMIP-2 through 4 analyzes climatological data of past climates, but each model has a different focus and includes a multitude of experiments. PMIP-2 specifically focuses on climate that involves the atmosphere, oceans, land surfaces, vegetation, sea ice, and land ice. PMIP-3 involves running and evaluating CMIP-5 simulations. CMIP stands for the Cooperative Holocene Mapping Project. PMIP-4 is similar to PMIP-3 as it deals with experiments with the Cooperative Holocene Mapping Project, but involves CMIP-6 instead of CMIP-5. Figure 3 on the right is a megabiome map, displaying data gathered through the PMIP-2 model. Each map is comparing the Earth at different points in time and displaying various different colored data points, representing different biomes ranging from forests, deserts, and tundras. The top map represents present-day Earth, the middle is the Earth 6,000 years ago, and the bottom map is the Earth 18,000 years ago. One of the experiments involving PMIP-2 was the Lagrangian analysis of the ocean circulation. This specific experiment explores changes within the thermohaline circulation, which are deep ocean currents controlled by the temperature and the salinity of the water, visually represented in Figure 4 to the right. Another experiment deals with the variability of climate of Europe and Africa during the mid-Holocene era to discover if there are any similar climate patterns between those continents between 6,000 and 1,000 years ago. PMIP-3 involves 4 experiments. The 6Ka experimental design analyzes climate data of the Earth 6,000 years ago. The 21Ka experimental design analyzes climate data of the Earth 21,000 years ago. The last millennium experimental design analyzes climate data of the Earth during the last millennium. And the final experiment is the pre-industrial control run experimental design, which analyzes climate data of the 19th and 20th century. Figure 5 on the right is a map displaying the average global temperatures during the last glacial maximum, which occurred on the Earth 21,000 years ago, and is connected to the 21Ka experimental design. PMIP-4 is involved in a multitude of experiments specifically for CMIP-6, spanning from multiple eras of Earth history from the mid-Pliocene warm period to the last millennium period. Some notable PMIP-4 experiments are the design for the last deglaciation experiment, the design for the penultimate deglaciation experiment, and the Deep Time Model in Comparison Project, also known as Deep MIP. Figure 6 is a part of Deep MIP, which focuses on the Eocene-Oligocene transition. Paleoclimatology modeling is far from a complete science and is being expanded upon all the time. Scientists working with the Paleoclimate Modeling Intercommission Project are constantly working towards answering the questions posed by the original paleoclimatology model. The Paleoclimate Modeling Intercomparison Project, PMIP, poses the questions: how well do Earth system models simulate past climates different from today? And how does feedback from various climate subsystems affect the climate sensitivity and regional changes? Though we may be closer to answering these questions than we were in the past, we most likely will not be able to answer them completely. With almost every science, not being able to answer a question fully is not necessarily a bad thing. It just means we accept the notion that we do not know everything, and thus it drives us to further our knowledge in order to help the future of humanity. Thank you all for listening. This has been Paleoclimatology Modeling, presented by Nick Hernandez.